Sound rolling.
Camera 1.
Rolling.
Camera 2. Rolling.
My name is Christina Sisk, and my current title is Associate Professor at the University of Houston. And I consider myself an immigration scholar within cultural studies. Most are centered in the social sciences, so I'm in the humanities. I arrived at Tulane in 1992 as a freshman, and I was an engineering student, and I quickly changed and went undecided, and then I started taking Latin American courses and Spanish courses out of interest, and that's how I arrived at Latin American Studies and a concentration in economics. And it was very different from taking my literature classes that I was taking as an undergraduate. And it wasn't until I was a master's student that I started working in film. So I came back to study for my master's in Spanish, and then I left in 2004 after I had finished my PhD in Spanish, and worked with Ana López, so I was kind of in a vague space between Spanish communications and the Stone Center as well. The previous assistant director for the Stone Center, Karen Bracken, who was there for when I was a graduate student, had helped me to look at migration, so I tried to vary my spaces so that I could come up with the project. As someone who studied in the Stone Center, my research has veered in a different direction in ways that isn't typically considered Latin American studies per se. And I wrote my dissertation anchored in Mexican cultural studies, thinking about the ways migration was viewed from within Mexico. And later I tried to make more of a transnational approach as I did the research for my book and changed it. So now I think I'm much more anchored as a US Latino studies scholar, and I'm grateful that I started in the Stone Center and in Latin American studies, because I find that a lot of Latino studies people are a little too anchored in the US, and so I got a good background in Latin America to be able to do a good transnational approach, not just for Mexico, that is my field of study, but Central America and other areas that are key for US Latino studies. But I started in a program that was very much Latin American. A standout event maybe is a series of events. I always remember the music programming that the Stone Center had. One invitation was for Los Bamban from Cuba, and so there was a lot of music, and New Orleans is a big music city, and the Stone Center had a way of continuing that tradition with the Latin American music, and so oftentimes it was like a party in the patio. So those are memorable. One word that describes the legacy of the Stone Center is interdisciplinarity, because that's, for me, where it started. And that's what I was drawn to even as an undergraduate student, thinking about bringing together different fields. And even though I'm based in the humanities, it really started in the Stone Center, where I combined economics, sociology, and and other topics. And it wasn't until my master's where I got into communication, but interdisciplinarity. Oh, thank you.